I don't know if she's even going to destroy Caitlin Clark long term. She's going to destroy Caitlin Clark short term.
Hold up, something is off. Caitlin Clark just had one of her worst games ever, and the whole team looked like they forgot how to play basketball. But this might not be a one-off. This might not be about rust either, because fans are now discovering something wild. A quote, perhaps an old comment, from none other than Stephanie White herself.
Yesterday, what we seen displayed out there was a rude awakening to a bunch of fans. Stephanie White's style of coaching is not for Caitlin Clark.
And now, everything's starting to make sense. Let's just say, this ain't the first time she's done this to a superstar. You're gonna want to see this, because what just came out changes everything.
Yesterday, what we seen displayed out there was a rude awakening to a bunch of fans. Stephanie White's style of coaching is not for Caitlin Clark.
Yesterday, the Fever hit the court and something felt off again. But this time, fans weren't just disappointed, they were done. Most of them were like, I'm never watching another Fever game again. I bought tickets for Clark, not this nonsense. We're being robbed. Those are real comments under the Fever's latest post. And at the center of this storm is Coach Stephanie White, the same coach who came in promising structure, chemistry, and wins, but instead, she delivered confusion, tension, and straight-up sabotage. It's crystal clear now. This is not Caitlin Clark's team anymore. It's Stephanie White's system. And if you don't fit in, well, too bad. So, what exactly happened? Why are fans calling her out? Stephanie White's anti-Clark agenda. Alright, let's get straight to the part that made this whole thing explode. Because Stephanie White didn't just reveal her anti-Clark bias through her game plans or post-game pressers. She already exposed herself months ago with Luka Doncic. And once you hear what she said, everything about the Caitlin Clark situation suddenly makes way too much sense. I mean, this is not a new behavior. This is a pattern. Now, let me read out the exact quote for you guys. So she said, "You see, the Mavericks just play differently without Luka on the floor. He is a guy who has a high usage rate. The ball is in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving, it's popping, multiple players getting involved in action, and everyone stepping up." Now pause. What?
The post also includes a quote from Mavs radio announcer, lower usage rate from this year.
She said that about the guy who just dragged the Mavericks to the NBA Finals? The same Luka who LED'd the league in scoring in 2024? You can't make this up. She basically said, yeah, the Mavericks are better without Luka. That's not just a bad take, that's basketball nonsense. It's like saying the Warriors are more dangerous without Steph, or the Nuggets should move the ball more without Jokic. Come on now. And here's where it gets really dangerous, because now we know it's not just about Caitlin Clark. This is how Stephanie White thinks about basketball. This is her core philosophy.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Like, it is you can sucker punch a team once off. That's all you're going to get, though, is one off.
If you're a high usage player, or if the ball is in your hands a lot, she sees you as a problem, not the solution. She doesn't want a playmaker, she wants a system. And if you don't fit in that system, you are out. That's why Luka was not safe. And that's exactly why Caitlin Clark is in trouble. This is the same mindset that has Clark looking forced, rushed, and out of sync every time she's on the court. She's barely getting touches. Nobody's running the break with her. She's having to fight for every single point. This isn't Caitlin playing bad. This is Caitlin being used wrong. And the results are right in front of us. The Fever are barely .500, Clark's shooting numbers are down, and her impact has also become limited. And whose fault is that? Stephanie White, because she refuses to do for Clark what any smart coach would do with a generational talent. Put the ball in her hands and get out of the way. Facts don't lie. See, facts don't lie. And nobody can deny the fact that when Luka doesn't play, the Mavs collapse. Similarly, when Caitlin is benched, the Fever fall apart. The whole more ball movement without stars myth, it works for like one quarter, maybe one game. But you don't build a championship team around unpredictability. You build it around your best player. And guess what? Caitlin Clark is that player, and just like Luka was. And Stephanie White still couldn't see it. Caitlin's bad return game, and just in case you think this is some old Luka take from the archives, Just look at what happened last night. Caitlin Clark had one of her worst games of the season in her return. And no, it wasn't just a bad shooting night. The whole team looked horrible. Why? Because nothing has changed. It is still the same system. Still the same stagnant offense, same coach with the same Luka logic thinking her way through another broken game plan. I've said this before and I'll say it again. When you've got a big three, two of them need to show up for you to even compete.
All right, so that means that one of the big threes always got another big three's back. Some games, like against the Lynx.
And when it's playoff time, you need all three to go nuclear. But the Fever, well, they've got a superstar being used like a bench player. Caitlin Clark is being iced out of the offense like she's the fifth option. And that's not just bad coaching, that's intentional. And now the pieces are coming together. Because guess what?
Does Stephanie White have an agenda? Her coaching style is influenced by her NC2A championship coach, Carolyn Peck.
Stephanie White's old coach, Carolyn Peck, is out here publicly saying the Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. Wait, what? Where do you think White gets this wild take on basketball? They won a title together at Purdue. Peck joined White's staff at Vanderbilt. They've been lockstep in their system over superstar mindset for years. And honestly, it never worked. White's Vanderbilt run was a disaster.
Look, Peck joins White's staff at Vanderbilt. By the way, she ran everybody out of Vanderbilt.
So when people ask, why does Caitlin look so uncomfortable? Why does it feel like the system is breaking her down? Well, now you know. Stephanie White's track record tells the same story. She went 7 wins, 23 losses. Then 7 wins, 24 losses. Back-to-back disasters.
She went 14-16, 7-24, 7-23.
Sound familiar? Yeah, that's what's happening in Indiana right now. They say Caitlin needs to play better, when, in fact,
For the good of basketball, it has to be Stephanie White. For the good of basketball, it has to be her.
Stephanie White needs to coach smarter. Or honestly, just coach less. Clark could be putting up 25 and 12 a night. She could be leading the league in assists and lighting it up from deep. She could be the face of the WNBA, not just in branding but in production. But instead, she's being turned into a corner shooter. She's running off ball with no help in transition. She's logging empty minutes with no rhythm and no control. This is not development. This is clearly sabotage.
It doesn't matter if she's a great coach.
Let's bring this full circle. Stephanie White once said the Mavericks were better without Luka. Now she's running an offense that makes the Fever better without Caitlin Clark. You see the pattern? This isn't about Caitlin being a rookie. It's not about adjusting to the pro game. It's not about needing time. It's about a coach who genuinely believes that a superstar is less valuable than a flowing offense full of mid-range bricks and miss-it-open layups. And that is how you ruin a generational player before she ever gets a chance to shine. The fans know the truth, but, like always, fans are not buying it.
Threatening to quit watching the Indiana Fever basketball. Fans is threatening to quit going to the games. And if this was to happen,
because even if you're not a basketball analyst, you can feel what's happening. Caitlin Clark brings energy, she brings spacing, she brings fear to opposing defenses the moment she crosses half court. And yet, what's the game plan? Bench her, ignore her, let others run the offense like it's 1999.
was to happen, I hope not. But if this was to happen, Stephanie White is to blame.
Clearly, this is not team basketball. This is a game of ego. Stephanie White wants to prove something, but at what cost? Because right now, she's not just hurting Clark, she's hurting the entire league. So I'll say it again. If you're watching this system break Caitlin down, and if you believe Steph White is dragging this team into mediocrity, write "Free Caitlin" in the comments below. Let the front office know the fans are paying attention. I'm contacting right here, okay? I'll do better than provoke Caitlin.
Way this stuff could change is if we, the fans, voice our opinions online, in videos, and make it loud enough so the front office can hear it.
And for more WNBA news and updates, be sure to subscribe We post new videos every single day so you don't miss out on anything.